welcome to another episode. I've cleared a bit of room on the GoPro now, so I can actually record the intros and the outros again like I used to do. The last previous few episodes I've not been able to do that because I just needed to get the videos up and on to clear up a bit of room on the hard drive and laptop. Real time, as you know, if you watch these, I'm out at anchor. It's raining today, but just to show you my current scenario, I did put that video on the other day in a bit of a rush, the honest update one. It turns out the wind isn't going to be as bad as was advertised. It's been dropping and dropping and dropping, and these boats don't seem to be making an urgent run away from the likely big wind tomorrow, so I think we should be okay here at anchor, and we've just got to see it out. But in this video that's coming up now, it's back when I was in Cannes, and a lot of it's me trying to get the engine sorted. So as you can hear, the engine is running, so it's not completely broken, and there's some progress on it. So yeah, enjoy the video. I'll see you at the end. So we got back with the fuel, and then just as I was getting back, I was trying to record me coming back with the fuel, which involves me coming back with the fuel, walking away with the fuel, and then redoing it. But the joys of YouTube editing, and I've now ruined that by telling you what I did anyway. But yeah, then the lady on the boat next door was saying that some people were telling her that a boat was going too far down at the front, and I was like, it's really not. We went around, looked at the waterline, I was like, it's fine, and she was like, yeah, I don't know why. I was like, the thing is, like, sometimes people want everything to be perfect. You get a lot of day sailors who come to the boat for a day, a month sometimes, and they're not carrying things around. Like the amount of people who, my boat's definitely too heavy, but I live in it full time. So anyway, I was helping her out, and then she's gonna see if she knows anyone who could help me replace my Genoa at the front. And she also the other week dried all my washing for me, so it's friendly. So shout out to the lady on the boat next door. Right, we got back with the diesel. It was heavy as well, had to walk to the fuel station, but I bought pretty much 15 litres, so I'm going to get that in, repump it all through, see if the bulb goes tight, and then we'll go from there, I guess. I should really sort the tank before putting more diesel in, but that's a big job, and someone will be watching me, you should clean that tank. It's just going to keep happening, but you know, sometimes I just got to do what I got to do to get through until I can do things, which is what I've been doing for the last 4 months. So I guess I've got to carry on doing that as much as possible, or as much as is necessary. So I'm going to fill the tank up now, get back under the steps, and then I'm going to go from there. Right, so we topped the fuel up, and then we've come and squeezed this, and there it is with this one, a little separate filter attached, which I didn't have before, which is quite handy. Before and yesterday, that was like half fuel, half air, so that's what made me think that maybe there was just not enough fuel. And now after squeezing that, the bulb's actually gone hard, which it weren't doing before. So if we then open up this little cap at the top of the fuel filter, which we put really tight, some fuel run out, but then if we squeeze that, before it was like really foamy, which obviously involves bubbles, but that's super tight now. Open it a little bit more and see if the fuel runs out. So it was doing that, if you can see that, them air bubbles, but then eventually it should run clear, which it weren't doing before. It was carried on to froth, but now it seems to be running clear. So you want to tighten that back up, and I'm quite optimistic about this. Get that tightened back up, and it might require me to bleed them as well, but we're going to see first if it will do it without that. So I've turned that back on, but I need to put the battery back in place. Let's have a look. Right, get the battery on. That was charging overnight, so hopefully it has enough power. Go to neutral. Right, so it started, and it weren't doing this yesterday. It was running straight back out, like straight away. So it's now running in neutral, and it sounds a lot better than it did before. So the issue was, and what made me think we had a leak, was then if I went into forwards and gave it revs, it would do it, but then it would die out just like that. So it's still doing it. Maybe there's still a bit of air that it needs to get through, so we're going to leave it like that for a little bit and see if it sorts itself out. If it doesn't, I really don't know. It's going to go off. Man. See if it'll start back up. Now the battery's flat. I don't know why the battery's flat, because that should have been charging overnight. It says it's got 13 volts in, 13.2, which should start the engine. It's not doing. Have we gained a loose connection somewhere? Possibly there. Let's try again. Turn off my YouTube. Today I've actually is the day that I've uploaded the first video for YouTube. It's actually the second video because I haven't recorded the intro yet, but it's on there, so I'm quite excited about that. Anyway, the battery I think is giving me a fairly false reading. I'm gonna see, because we did just bleed above the fuel filter, and I mentioned about doing these, so I'm going to do them and see if air comes out of them, because I'm fairly confident now that air's not coming from before this line, because otherwise I'd be able to see the air in that, and that stopped doing that. Got one open, but So you found a little bit of an air bubble then on the top. Maybe these are a problem. I don't know if we use a lift pump instead, if that, because that's pumping to there. To do this, I think the easiest way is with the engine on, maybe. I don't know if the lift pump could be broke for all I know. I just hope it's something I can fix without loads of money. Alright, we're going to have to just leave it to charge and see if that makes any difference if we leave it to charge. It's showing 14.2, which is enough usually to start the engine, but it's just clicking, and it normally does that when it's not got enough power. I've just cleaned the terminals a little bit to see if that makes any difference, but even on the starter it's showing, or it was showing like 13.6 while that was the reading. Again, that's enough to start the engine, so it should start. And yeah, I am a bit worried about like these injectors, because I've got a feeling when I crank them, like, fuel should be coming out, I think. Although saying that, it probably goes into this. It probably goes into there first, does it? Or does it go into there first and then through to there? I don't really know. But I just want the engine to work. What time is it? Because I also need to go get some clips for that hose. Probably left it too late now. I think I might go get a beer quick and then put the football on. I'm going to be here for another night probably now tomorrow because this isn't working. Leave that to charge and just have a bit of a break from it, I think. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I think it's Leeds-Chelsea today, so I've not had much interest in football recently, but that's what I'm going to do. Right, 6th of March, and today we've just been to the DIY shop. Yesterday I had a look at the engine and I bled it all again. I topped up the diesel. I managed to get it to start again. It was actually, turns out it was I've forgotten the word, a bad basically connection on a negative going back down. So I've sorted that out, and it will now run at 15 RPM quite steady. It won't go up to 20 still. I think maybe some of the pipes are clogged from when it overheated, and that's going to be quite a big job. But for now, 15 will get me moving. However, today it's very windy, so probably aren't going anywhere today. I'm going to have to just take the hit and stay in the port another night, and then another night of expense. But we have a few things that we're going to get done. So we've been to the DIY shop. Some of these things I'm going to need for a boat job, which I should be doing next week anyway. So I've got the receipts because the guy who's paying for the materials and things needed, so that's good. So we've got one of these. I'm going to try this for stripping the laminate off the things that I still haven't got it off, because with the sandpaper it's just taking so long and sand's going everywhere. Not that that's going to be less messy, but it might just be a bit quicker, and then we can sand off after because it's going to leave a rough finish. A little strip of wood, that is just going to go on the top of this, and it might just make it look a bit neater. We've got a bit of foam here just to cover these wires. One day I'm going to rerun them all so they're not just here and loose. This is a bit broken and I'm not sure how repairable it is. I'm going to try put it back together, put a few more nails in, and then sand it, and then I'll use a bit of wood filler and see if I can rescue this, because I don't really want to make a new one. The other one we did the other day, that was looking quite good. What else did we get? Jubilee clips. What turned out so much more expensive than I ever thought they would be. Like 2 Jubilee clips, €4. They're for the bilge pump that we fitted the other day. That should help a lot with anchoring, because we're going to get everything dry again, and then I will eventually make it automatic, but that was just going to be another cost which I couldn't really afford. So for now it's wired in, so I can press, I think the middle one says refrigerator. Yeah, I can hear it going. So at least then, if I run that every so often, I can just keep the water out of the bilge, which in turn will stop the water running over the top of the bilge, under the floorboards, and then when the boat rocks, the floor just gets covered in whatever's leaked. I've said before, really I need to fix the little leak. It's not even a huge one, but obviously we found out too there was a fuel leak too, which we've now fixed, I hope. So at least this should stop all of these problems, which is good. So the hose runs into the part at the back of the boat. I've got using a few bits of hose because I didn't have enough to pay. I had enough hose to not pay for a new full hose, and it's only for the bilge, so it's fine. So we're going to get that done today as well. One final €4 hinge. So the kitchen now has all come together quite well. I still might tidy this up, but at the minute I found it holds things quite well, so who knows whether I just leave it. I've got the bits of wood, it's easy enough done, so we'll decide. I might even put the bit of wood and then just leave 2 slots in the wood so it looks neater, because that's quite a handy place for that big knife. But that one we've done already, so there's one hinge there. This one's done, so that's hinged. There's just the last one. There was a hinge, but I've tried to reuse that one. I cleaned it up for ages, but it's no use. So that's that. What else did we get? 2 of these, so fairly big hinges. I'm going to have to paint over them with the top black paint, I think, to stop them going all horrible, but that's for that back seat, if you like. I'm going to just see if I can get it so it opens on hinges, because every time I want to get into the back I've got to get that out, and it's a bit of a pain. You can see the cockpit table too is now fitted. Obviously I'll take that up when I move, but it'd just be a bit nicer when in anchor to be able to sit and eat there. It's all coming together this week. Money's wearing down very fast, and then this evening I'll record a bit more about this boat project that I'm going to be doing. So I guess we hit the big job first and get these steps out again. I'm looking forward to the day where this is everyday occurrence of getting these out. It's just a bit annoying, but today they're going to have to come out. So to do so, annoyingly, the battery I have to take out because I have to get through here. I realise I'm not showing you anything. So that battery there stops it going through. So hold there. That's a better place for you. So, twist that around. Move the stuff on the floor out of the way. And voila. Right, so step one, Jubilee clips. Where did I put them? Story of my life. Jubilee clips, where did you go? Man, do this all the time. Did I put them back in the bag? Oh, no. Jubilee clips. So I got 2 and I'm hoping I don't need 3. There's one bit of hose that's connected which so there's one bit of hose which, that's a wet mess in here. One bit of, right, so there's the bilge pump. That's wired, that's all good. Let's get a bit of kitchen roll at the ready. Okay, so it's just, don't tell me I ain't got one big enough. Oh, that will be upsetting if they're the wrong size and I've just opened them. Not got much more give either. Hopefully it's just got enough. Let that go around now. Oh, don't think it's gonna do it, you know. If we're lucky, we might just get away with this. Right, so we need one around there to tighten that onto that hose. It's not ideal if you're watching thinking, why didn't you just buy more hose? The hose was just expensive. Maybe one day I will, if it works out, and I don't need to, I won't. We'll see how this works. Might not, to be honest. But it might. We'll see. It's in the wrong screwdriver there. I think it might not work, you know. We were going to need 2 Jubilee clips. Oh no, we were going to need 1, but they came in packs of 2 anyway, so either way we were going to have to buy that whether this works or not. Right, let's attach the bilge pump end. Need the other Jubilee clip. There, so that's not worked. Back to the drawing board. Well, although it's squirting out of there, the water has, or seems to still be going down. Go look on the outside and see if water's coming out of where it should be coming out. No, it's not. Right, I think it is actually pumping out because the amount of water that's come back in is nowhere near the amount that started in there. I'm going to try cover the little parts with enough of that it might just be enough, and some electric tape just to go over it. Not ideal, but if it does the job for now, it does the job for now. So we fit the hinges on this. This is like this because this part was broken when I bought the boat. You can see there it cracked through, so I just added this wood along the top, and I do plan on meeting it up at some point. So the hinges are on because of the angle, because it goes off there and it goes off there. It'll only open that far up, but that's fine. So then I've just attached like this little, can't think of a word, but basically that will have like a multi-purpose. So A, it'll allow me to just keep that open while I'm inside, and B, I'm gonna find a way, because it's central, to attach the tiller. Sometimes when I'm sailing without an autopilot, I just need to quickly go get something, and just keeping the tiller straight would be beneficial. So I end up like trying to tie ropes to either end, whereas that will allow me to just connect to the bottom of the tiller or round the tiller or whatever and keep it straight. So that should act as a that will have a multi-use. Also, I found the hinges I was looking for the other day. They were in my bag of spare parts. That bag, there was once a massive sale on at Cabestos where they were just selling all sorts, like really cheap. Like these were €1 each. These were €1 each. So I just ended up buying loads of parts, which a lot went on the last boat, but I've still got some bits left over. These I am going to use at some point on the, I might use them on the floor inside, or I might get some smaller ones so that I don't have to keep taking the floor up when water gets inside. I'll probably use some smaller ones than that, but for that I might actually use it at the back there, because there's so much storage back there that's just really hard to access. So that might be good for that, or even if I put it in the floor, because behind the engine again there's loads of storage which is just really hard to access. So I've got 2 of them, so they're going to come in useful. I do have a new deck filler for the fuel, but it's is it 42? These normally come in 2 sizes, this one's too small, so I'm gonna have to see eventually if I can find a adapter which will turn that into then a thicker, so for the thicker pipe, but then I will eventually replace that as well. And there are also loads of these for cheap, €1. So one day I might learn how to splice. At the minute I'm too busy with other things. Anyway, the hinges, now I found them, I'm probably going to hinge the hatch and make it just like 2 little doors. I've done it before. It's less secure, but at the same time I like it, so that's probably what I'm going to do. Whether I get that done today, probably not, because at the minute we're in a bit of a mess. Right, so build pump done, that's done. I'm probably going to throw this thing away now. Like, I got it to cover up that wood because it weren't very neat, but it just gathers dirt and dust, so that's probably going to go in the bin. And then now I'm probably going to try that little wire brush thing I've got and see. We're going to try it on a few different bits and see how it goes. You can see underneath all of these, when I say my last boat was bare fiberglass on the inside, that's exactly what it looked like on the inside. So horrible. I might at some point gel coat all over all of that, just make it look a bit neater. And then I also need to sort in here so that it's more practical storage. Ideally, like the fenders and stuff would go in there when not sailing. The big hoover I've got as well, I find too useful when it comes to cleaning the boat, but having somewhere to store it's quite hard. So I'm probably going to take that out there. That just has like snorkels and stuff stored inside from when I did boat trips. That can live on the deck quite easily. And then I also need to put a hole in the back of here so the gas hose can go through without it coming all around here. Okay, hopefully you can hear me over the sound of the engine, but as long as I try and shout a little bit, it should be okay. I don't know, I've from inside now. But yeah, thanks for watching. The channel as well at the minute, it's, you know, from the first month when I was doing it, it took a long time to get to like 100 subscribers, but then I can see how it's growing, and that's because of the likes and the shares and everything everyone does. So thanks for that, I do really appreciate it. And I just wanted to say a thank you as well to Steve, Chris again, Pete G and Mitchell, who all visited my coffee page, and it's honestly, it gives me a big boost. This morning I woke up and there was 2 supports, one of which was really big as well, like, so thanks for that. And yeah, thanks to everyone who watches, and thanks for the comments. I'm trying to get the videos closer to real time because, as I've said before, you guys offer me quite a lot of advice, but normally it's something that's happened a few months ago. So I'm sat here now, that's why the engine's on, just trying to get the videos a bit closer. So that's what I hope to do. So if you notice, I'm posting like every 2 days. It's just because I never planned on being this far behind, and if I can catch up, it just makes it a lot easier, because where I'm now sat editing these, I should be editing like what I'm doing in the week, and that way it'd be a lot easier. So that's what the plan is. So yeah, the next few episodes after this one, it's a bit more about my time in Cannes. I get a bit more done on the boat, and I actually get some work, so I spend over a month doing some work. That doesn't have a happy ending, but so I'm undecided yet what I'll do with it. I might just use the footage I've got to show if anyone's interested how to do like some bits that I was doing on the boat, but I'm not entirely sure I'll put the whole thing as an episode or a few episodes, because in the end what happened is the guy I was working for, I was doing it, you know, cheap for him as well, and he turned out to be really dishonest. So it weren't complete waste of time. I probably ended up slightly better off by doing it, but yeah, you'll find out in the upcoming videos. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.